Stoklos, Adam Johnson, and Pat Powers. The final is here. Rick Olmsted will call it. Rick from Santa Barbara. He is our first referee. And our second referee is also from Santa Barbara, Brent Lee. B. Lee is the umpire. So we're just about set, ready to go, discussing wind conditions. Randy Stoklos and his partner, St. John Smith, looking for another big win. They won 3 tournaments early this year and looking for their second hat trick of the season. 6 wins total, 3 seconds. So 6 out of 9, $70,000 apiece for the Kings of the Beach.
Well, we're in our 10th tournament, so 6 firsts and 3 seconds. Remarkably, they have now been in the finals of every tournament so far this year.
How many tournaments did you say they were going to win? I said 18. You said 18. I think I said 15 at the start of the year, and I think both of us probably still got a shot. St. John Smith, 6'3", 205, 34, 122 wins. His first coming back in 1977 at Marine Avenue with Mike Norman, the head coach at Loyola Marymount University, who did such a great job with their men's team this year, got him into the playoffs. So it was Norman and St. John Smith. However, St. John did not win a tournament in 1978, dropped down to AA, and then came back the next year, and actually with Mark Eller, who we saw in the semifinal, picked up his AAA by winning a AA tournament.
Tight set,
and Pieper lobs over the top, and I don't know who Randy's yelling at. That was his fault. He was up the net.
Exactly. Should be yelling at himself. Made a horrible choice not blocking in that situation. The ball set by Adam Johnson, blowing right on top of the net.
Adam Johnson, 6'3", 185. Santa Barbara was his breakout tournament. He's been close. He took 3rd at the USA Championships last year with Steve Timmons. And yes, Timmons will be coming back with Karch Karai very soon. And won't they be fun to have back on the tour? All the barbers in the world, and especially in California, will be glad to have Steve Timmons back, a lucrative moneymaker.
He likes to keep it short and standing straight up. Regular visits.
Randy Stoklos, 2-time most valuable player. He's second behind St. John. 3rd on the all-time list is Ron Von Hagen, who probably winced when Paul Sunderland said St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos were the best team of all time.
I said arguably one of the best teams.
That's the way to chicken out on that. Arguably.
Well, that's the kind of thing, you know, who's the best baseball player of all time? Pat Powers.
Babe Ruth.
A big, imposing player at 6'5", 195, and can...
Pieper has it. And Johnson squeaks it in. What a play.
Adam Johnson, the Houston Gambler, early on from 20 feet back, just takes a rip and gets lucky with the equipment. Watch this thing change direction, jump up a little bit on Stokey, but even if it didn't hit the tape, I'm not sure Randy Stoklos could have gotten to that ball.
1-0 Johnson and Powers. Let us set it for you. If Johnson and Powers win the game to 15, we play another game to 7, which they must also win. For Smith and Stoklos, they just need to win 1 game to 15. Some of the rules of double elimination. By the way, most of the people that have ridden the beach bag are in favor of double elimination. They like seeing St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos in the final, which they usually are. Powers drills one over the top.
Adam Johnson and Pat Powers on the good side right now and taking advantage, controlling the ball extremely well.
Powers and Johnson will have the ball. I believe there are going to be a couple of single elimination tournaments a little later in the year, though, Paul. So they will try out that format.
Well, I think the fans like double elimination because they get to see the names that they're familiar with. Volleyball is still a growing sport all over the world, and players like St. John Smith, Randy Stoklos, Karch Karai making it famous.
And Stoklos shanks one out of bounds and screaming at Smith to come over and get it. So Adam Johnson, who has quietly developed into one of the great jump servers on the beach, he's got a cuff down the line, which he can use on Smith, and the flags are really humping now. Flopping in the breeze as Powers prepares himself at the net. You can see the signal. Looked like he said 2 on both, which means he would block cross-court on both players. Let's see if he does. Couldn't reach it. Nice play by St. John Smith.
Not sure what Randy Stoklos is complaining about. Probably about the velocity and location of Adam Johnson's jump serve.
Well, why would he be complaining to the ref on that?
I'm kidding. He just was taken by surprise earlier by the jump serve of Adam Johnson, who all the players agree has one of the best.
Stoklos' record in the finals is very, very good as Powers attacks. Perfect set. And have you noticed that Adam Johnson is setting Powers much, much higher this week, and the people are able to go over the top?
Well, that's to his advantage, as was earlier seen against Welsh and Eller in the semifinals. You give Pat Powers the high set near the net, and he can go over the top of anybody.
Serving Stoklos on the bad side. Here he comes, and he hits it out of bounds off the fake block. So Smith and Stoklos have come out cold, and it is no surprise because it is cold here in Houston, cold and windy and rainy.
One advantage to winning the winner's bracket is you get to go to the hotel and rest for a long, long time. The other is, after a 3-hour wait, can you come out and be ready mentally?
Stoklos off the good serve. Johnson! Powers! Johnson. Well, the ball just did not come up. Pretty good start, however. TP. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland, we welcome you back to the Miller Lite Houston Open. Johnson and Powers led 3-2 at the break. We now pick up the action with Smith Stoklos ahead by 2, 6-4. 6-4 is our score. Now Powers and Johnson back on the good side. They should make some hay now. Smith is digging Powers cross court and doing it very well. It seems like Stoklos wants to block Powers on the line and let Smith dig him cross court.
Well, that's where Pat wants to go. You always want to take away the opposition's strength.
Powers to serve. 6'6", 195. Might be a little heavier than that now. Smith. Johnson with the dig. 2-point lead. Smith, that's too tight. And Johnson has it. Big play here. Chance for a point. Within one, Johnson and Powers.
Point scoring opportunity on the good side. You have to capitalize A.J. with a good patience and dig in the angle against St. John Smith.
A.J. sniffing around for that cut shot, wasn't he, Paul?
Well, you've got to be patient. Wait on the angle and then just take the shot that the defense gives you. St. John Smith staying in the cross court, expecting that from Adam Johnson.
Trying to roll it over was Powers. He could not. Service error for Pat Powers. And so now Stoklos. Let's see if Stoklos jump serves. I don't think so here on the bad side. 6-5 is our score. Our championship final. Chris Marlowe with Paul Sunderland. And that lob is long. So Johnson will now, in a good rotation, as Stokey says, I'm getting a little hot. I'm taking off the glass. It's very, very dark. As both teams making some errors, but Johnson and Powers whipping theirs out at certainly at a higher rate. So Stokey bare-chested now. Let's see if that helps him. Certainly helps his fans get into it a little more.
I think the girl in the stands was making too much noise a few seconds.
Oh, off Powers' face! And out of bounds. So Stoklos just administered a tremendous facial to the Peeper. Let's see if he rubs his nose. Peeper's got...
See, I never had this problem because I couldn't jump this high or get over the net that far. Look at Pat's head is over the net. I would have blocked that ball because I would have been about a foot lower with my hand.
My career block, I blocked the Peeper once and hit him in the nose. His nose was red for about 15 minutes. But then he said you never blocked me. After a year or two, he forgot, and he wouldn't admit it anymore. But if you get him in the nose, it gets bright red like Rudolph. There's the Peeper. No blocks so far in the final, but in the semifinal, he was devastating. If he just joined us, Wes Welch and Mark Eller, the surprise team of this tournament, finished third. Stoklos conking it down the line.
Excellent shot. I think that we'll see Pat Powers and Adam Johnson staying more on Randy Stoklos when they're on the good side. Smith is going to pass the ball perfectly, regardless of the weather conditions or side that he's on. Randy Stoklos got a lot of shots, as well as the heater cross-quarter down the line.
Stoklos says something to Smith, whispery. Let's see what he does. He's lobbing deep, and that's out of bounds. So 2 straight service errors. Boy, it's tough to serve with the wind with you. The ball just goes right out of bounds.
They're trying to work Adam as deep as they possibly can into the cross-court corner and then have the set come over his head and Randy get in a good position blocking-wise.
If you're wondering, the official ball, the AVP, is a Spalding top flight. It is inflated. It should be inflated to 5 pounds. If you have one of those balls, 5 pounds is about ideal, but it depends on the ball. You make the call. Over. Oh, big stuff for the Pieper. And the crowd picks it up. We're tied at 6.
Pat must have had a good feeling because he let out the yell just before Randy Stoklos blocked this ball. Here's the matchup. Pat Powers on your left, Randy Stoklos coming into your screen on the right. Pat up and over early. Perfect timing to stuff this ball straight down. No cover for that one.
Stokey approached the ball too slowly, Paul. You could see it. Ace for Powers and Johnson. So 7-6. Smith-Stoklos having trouble on the bad side.
There's the key.
Johnson's got a very tricky jump serve, Paul. He can whip it down the line, but he can also cut it into the wind where it curves a little towards the hubby and wife area. So they're working on Stoklos. And 20. But Powers and Johnson racking them up 6, but only 1 on the bad side. So you're hoping to rack them up on the good side, and when you go over to the bad side, the wind drops.
Well, and you hope that also Pat Powers gets hot blocking a couple of balls. Blocking can make up for a big difference, good side, bad side.
Johnson rips one, but Smith, who's an excellent passer, passes it up perfectly, and a nice rainbow cross court. And give Randy Stoklos credit. That ball was spinning. He gloved it perfectly and set it nice.
He may be the only player out here, maybe Scott Akatubby or Brent Frohoff, who would even dare to take this ball with their hands. Not only is it high in windy conditions, but this ball was spinning tremendously, and Adam knows right now he has no chance.
Back to the action. 7-6 is our score. Oh, Powers with no block drills it into the bottom of the tape. So the wind may have blown that out of Pieper range. And a point to Smith-Stoklos. 7-7.
Bad pass, but a good set coming right over Pat Powers' head. Just dropped his arm, hit the ball in the middle of the net.
Wind gusting now as Powers takes it.
Nobody. Come on, go.
Smith, great diving save. Great set. Not yet. Johnson.
Get up.
Smith, cut, score! St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos on the good side. The score is now Smith-Stoklos 8, Johnson and Powers 7.
Here.
Johnson and Powers led early. And a confrontation at the net, won by Stoklos. That's a point.
Immediately, you see the difference, good side, bad side. St. John Smith ripping the jumper to Pat Powers. Pretty good pass. Adam having to hustle after this ball, but this is the important confrontation right there. Randy Stoklos with a big left hand pushing the ball down on Pat Powers.
And a 20-second timeout to Powers and Johnson. If you're serving the jumper to Powers and Johnson, you want to serve Powers, especially on this side, don't you think?
Oh, I'd work him deep and short and to the sideline. Pat, not nearly as good a passer as Adam Johnson.
He would like to thank the Prime Ticket Cable Network.
Powers and Johnson, one of the new upcoming team this year. Smith and Stoklos, well, they are one of the great teams of all time. As Paul told you, you see the all-time winnings. Stoklos $5,000 behind Smith. He can't pass him unless he dumps him somewhere along the line. 6 firsts and 4 seconds. You see that number?
Sand timeout taken by the team of Powers
and Powers and Johnson taking another 20-second timeout. So 2 sand timeouts in a row. You're allowed 4 per team per game. So perhaps Powers and Johnson getting a little tired now. They've played a lot of games today, Paul.
Well, they played and lost to St. John Smith, Randy Stoklos in the semis, and have been wallowing in the losers bracket since then. Smith and Stoklos 6-3.
This is in the final.
Hovland and Steffes 2 wins, 5. And then Johnson and Powers, there you see 1-0.
9-7 is our score. Smith and Stoklos trying to wrap up their 7th victory of the year. Johnson took a look. Smith has it. And Stoklos can't quite get there. Another inch higher, it would have caught the strand of the net.
Adam's got to be careful chopping the ball around the block. In transition, I think it's good to use the cut shot away from St. John Smith, but when he's serving and coming in behind Randy Stoklos to score points, he's great at tracking down the cuts.
Powers serving. Over the top, Johnson has it. Could be a point. Trying for a point. Got it.
Excellent set by Pat Powers. One of the good things about Adam Johnson as a chaser, not only does he get to the ball well, but he can finish. Can rip the
very
ball
fast coming around the horn.
Once he gets the ball, he gets off the sand and is able to chop this ball inside Randy Stoklos, and he can crank it in transition as well.
8 serving 9. Powers.
No!
And that's out of here. So Stoklos will now go back and rip a jumper if he can. Stoklos, one of the best jump serves on the beach. Who has the best? Tough to tell. A lot of good ones now. Everybody's got a jump serve.
Akatabi, Frohoff didn't help him this week. Adam Johnson. Smith doesn't hit it that hard, but he's very accurate with it.
Down the line, Powers with a pretty good pickup. And Stoklos with a dig overhand. Powers, ball blowing away.
Oh, that's trouble.
Big trouble. And Powers scoops it up. He's on the left. Goodbye. So the keeper hung in there with a little help from A.J. able to sneak it by Smith.
Big grin comes on Pat Powers' face, and just the opposite on Randy Stoklos. This is a play that should have been converted easily by Smith and Stoklos, and instead, Pat Powers able to salvage the side out.
In the lead for the Killer Loop Kill Award, $500 presented by Bosch & Lomb. They're the most lethal weapon in the match.
Boy, and the wind is just howling right now.
Smith puts one through.
Spike by St. John Smith.
Tough time for no block.
A wide open net and splits the defense.
And that could signify that Powers is getting tired. They called 2 20-second timeouts in a row. When Powers stops blocking, that means he is tired. He has played a long way. He's getting a lot of serves. He's
blocking every time.
Right. Johnson off the net, and he wails it off Stoklos. He just touched Randy going out of bounds.
Adam Johnson.
Pretty good what we call high flat shot against Randy Stoklos. Adam Johnson attacking this ball from well off the net, and you just want to find the very top of the block.
Powers getting a lot of serves. The reception split between Stoklos and Smith.
You can see the kind of respect that Smith and Stoklos have for Adam Johnson.
Now the problem Powers has, he's got to run all the way up there and block at the same time. There he goes, coming into your picture. And Smith jams it high over Johnson. That's a shot you don't see very often. You see the cup down the line and the cut. You don't see the rainbow to the far corner much.
And that was an excellent shot on top of that because the ball was set so tight, Pat thought he was going to get his hands on that ball.
Here we go, Adam.
Stoklos serving. His team ahead by 1. Let's listen to the action on this one. Pick up the sounds and sights.
But they're no.
Out of bounds. Set back too far.
Twice in a row, Pat Powers setting the ball way off the net. Adam Johnson has got to pass the ball much more in a straight line up to the net. Let Pat Powers set the ball straight up over his head.
Score now 10.
The ball Powers doesn't handle well. It's the one that jams him when he backs up. Stoklos serving. Ahead by 2.
And over.
Powers taps it off Stoklos. If Powers and Johnson could get a couple lucky ones here, they would go over to the good side in great shape.
Good for a side out.
Conversely, Smith Stoklos want to get these last 2 on the good side and hang on, then go over to the bad side to tough it out.
Change sides every 5 points once again on the Pro Beach Tour, and I think Adam Johnson and Pat Powers at worst need to be at 11-9 if they want to win this game to 15 when they come back over to the good side.
Good.
Powers, Stoklos has it up. That's trouble. Another confrontation, and this time the peeper over Stokey. So 1-1 on the confrontation.
Smith hardly ever gets blocked straight down, does not this time. Randy Stoklos with a nice cover, but then Smith making a setting mistake. Over the net to Pat Powers. Here's the first block. Randy with a good hustling cover. Now St. John's trying to set this ball a couple feet off the net, instead just over, and Pat for the tap down and score.
9 serving 10. Will they continue to work on Smith? Yes.
And fight.
Lob line. St. John Smith, the master of that shot. And Stoklos, perhaps one of the best on the beach at making the call.
Side out to the team of
Right after
Smith
Randy
and
sets it,
Stoklos.
his head
Side
takes
out
a big
Smith
swivel to
back
the left,
serve.
and he makes the loud call.
Okay. Good.
Trouble.
Pat had been having trouble getting the poor passes near the net for Adam Johnson, but that time in very, very good position. Watch this, drifting right on top of the net. Not only do you have to gauge the distance, but you have to gauge the wind. You have to just lob the ball up into the air. The wind will carry it towards the net for your partner.
Short serve to Stoklos. And once again, the deep shot to the corner. One of the Smith and Stoklos have noticed something about Johnson and Powers, particularly that would leave that shot open for both of them.
Well, I think everybody expects Randy to hit the ball sharp angle, either straight down the line or hard cross court, and he's just learned that the whole back third of the court is wide open. He just gathers himself in loopy.
Stoklos with the ace.
Big jump serve by Randy Stoklos.
So Stoklos pounds up the ace. And Powers and Johnson have closed to within one, 12-11. Randy Stoklos did indeed hurt his right leg. He has a big scrapey type gash, not a gash I wouldn't say, a big scrape on his right thigh. As you look at points on each side, we'll try to get you a nice little shot of that so you can see what. Blood on his knee and gash on his thigh. Scrapey gash. There it is right there. Good look at it.
Well, there's only 2 players out there going hard to get the ball. Randy went into one of the banners and paid the price for it.
It's on his right leg. And Stoklos will serve. 12-11 is our score. Wind getting very, very heavy right now.
Here. And nobody.
Nice dig, Stoklos. Smith has it. Stoklos is dug by Johnson. Here he comes. Smith sniffs it up. Pieper with a rejection. Oh, Pieper found it. Look what I found. See ya!
And Pat Powers read that shot by Randy Stoklos. The back shoot on 2, and Pat Powers was on the run to make that play for the team of Adam Johnson and Pat Powers.
He read that play cover to cover. He had it.
Nike's Adam Johnson back to serve. Down by 1, 11, serving 12.
Oh, Adam Johnson just missing wide. Smith Stoklos back to serve. St. John Smith not going to send up the jumper. His team up 12-11 over Pat Powers, Adam Johnson.
I think he should send up the jumper. He just needs to get it deeper. He's been serving his
sky
short.
ball. You mean
yeah,
the sky ball.
excuse me. That's exactly what I mean. What I didn't mean. Killer Luke Kill Award. Right now, Paul Sunderland, who is in the lead?
Pat Powers looking pretty good here with 19 kills, but it's still a race. Randy Stoklos with 15. His partner, St. John Smith, with 16.
Okay, we come to championship point. The Miller Lite Houston Open. Randy Stoklos serving. Stokey trying to wrap up another victory. Jumper. Powers. Smith with a dig, but he can't quite control it. Off his hand. Might have hit his watch, perhaps.
Watch for St. John Smith just to stay in the cross court right now. Pick a side. Very confident they can side out long enough to score 1 point on the good side and win this match.
Now Johnson. Ace! Oh, beautiful.
This is one of the best serves I've seen all year. From the bad side, doesn't just rip the serve, but some real finesse here. Just chops it off. Almost a cut shot from 30 feet away.
You know, one thing that makes Johnson serve so effective, he doesn't have a very high toss, so it doesn't give you a lot of reaction time. Watch how low he tosses it. He's into it right away. And that one just out of bounds.
He has gotten the aces when he's needed them from either the good side or the bad side. Now they have to side out.
Second championship point for Smith Stoklos. St. John. Gently down the line. The perfect set by Johnson to Powers.
St. John staying in the cross court. Pat needs to block a ball. Been a long, long time. Pat Powers with only 2 stuffed blocks, both of those coming on tight sets early on. He's not gotten St. John Smith or Randy Stoklos on one of their good side-out plays.
Bad pass by Smith. Powers does not get off, and Johnson has it.
Bad pass.
Stoklos And the same kind of contact under the net that time. Stoklos getting Powers. Incidental contact. It's ruled, and we keep going.
Huge mistake by Adam Johnson, and he knows it right there. Had the overhand dig on the easy shot from St. John Smith. Just shanked it over the net to Randy Stoklos.
Third championship point here in Houston. And 20 St. Smith with 14. Pat Powers and Adam Johnson trying to hang on. They have 12. Stoklos with the 4th attempt at championship point. Stoklos has played very, very well. And he will try to end it right here. Looking for a championship number 7 this year. And they'll try Powers. Got it. That's it. It was not a spike. You cannot take the ball over. And so give Randy Stoklos a credit for a stuff block on the last play. Smith Stoklos win again.
Easy play to call. Nice stuff block by Randy Stoklos. Adam Johnson, Pat Powers hung in. Played pretty well in these conditions. Smith and Stoklos win it again.
Back on Prime Network after this. Okay, so Smith and Stoklos.